Good day, students! In the communicative society that we have today, it is important that you have the ability to speak English. And that is the aim of our subject, which is oral communication. This will develop how you converse in English in various situations. Now, before we continue, let's understand the objectives. First, comprehend oral communication. Second, understand the different categories in communication. Third, identify the elements in communication. And explain the barriers in communication. This time, let's define oral communication. It is the act of transmitting intended meanings and ideas from one individual or group to another through the use of mutually understood signs and semiotic rules. Oral communication can be formal and informal. Formal communication uses the formal communication channels of an organization. Informal communication, on the other hand, involves unsanctioned informal communications between organizational members and can flow in any direction. And here are the examples: face-to-face conversations, business meetings, telephone conversations, classroom lectures, speeches, and business presentations. There are different categories or communication styles in oral communication. We have verbal, nonverbal, written, and visual. For verbal communication, we have these examples: face-to-face, telephone, radio, television, and other media devices. For nonverbal communication, we have these examples: body language, gestures, how do we dress or act, and even our sense can be a form of nonverbal communication. Written communication in the form of letters, emails, books and magazines, and even the internet, when we compose a message using the different platforms. And visual communication such as graphs, maps, logos, and other visualizations that can communicate messages. In this chart, you will understand the process of communication and how a message is being transmitted from one person to another. The sender encodes the message, then uses a medium to send it. As soon as the receiver receives the message, then he or she will now be a sender, as the response will now be sent back to the original sender. Let us now understand the elements of communication. First is the speaker. The speaker is the source who imagines, creates, and sends the message. The speaker begins by first determining the message, what to say, and how to say it. Next is the message. Message is the meaning produced by the source or the speaker for the receiver or the audience. Encoding is the process of turning thoughts into communication. Channel. These are the different ways for a message to travel between the source and the receiver. The receiver. The receiver is a person to whom the message is directed. Barriers. These are the reasons why we fail to understand messages. Since we've mentioned that barriers are the reasons for us to get the exact messages, let us understand it deeper. We have here the different examples of barriers in communication. The use of jargon. The use of overcomplicated, unfamiliar, and technical terms. Too much emotions. Some people may find it difficult to express their emotions, and some topics may be completely off limits. Lack of attention or interests. Difference in perception and point of view. language differences, and the difficulty in understanding unfamiliar accents, and cultural differences. The norms of social interaction vary greatly in different cultures. Remember, to improve your communication skills, you need to be aware of these things and attempt to minimize any barriers to communication that are present. This will be all for now. See you in our next class.